any technique for making inferences by objectively and systematically identifying specific characteristics of the message. Used to determine the potential of new products, new ideas, and to identify the product benefits or benefit that should be the core of the advertising message. It becomes very important for all of us to understand the communication pattern. What is the objective on which we are doing it, why we are doing it, and what does it matter altogether. Good morning and welcome to the second session in Unit 2, 6th semester Advertising and Media Management for BBA, where we're going to talk about advertising and media. Now, when we are talking about this, we're going to talk about the advertising research itself, which is going to consist of content analysis, perceptual mapping, segmentation, cube methodology, experimental design, concept and benefit testing, communication, copy testing, and the audience measurement. So we got quite a number of topics to be spoken about today. All these topics are very important because we are going to do the advertising research. So moving further, we're going to first start with the content analysis. Any technique for making inferences by objectively and systematically identifying specific characteristics of the message. Now, to deliver an advertising or to put an advertisement onto the paper or any of the news channel, what is very important is the content. Now, you might be a great company with a great brand, a very good range of products, but if your message, if your content is not up to the mark, that can do a very big loss, that can backfire the entire concept altogether. So that's why what we tend to do is that we first try to look systematically into what is the content, how the content needs to be prepared, and how we are taking it forward. The next thing is the perceptual mapping. Now, what is a perceptual mapping? Translate the consumer's brand and product perceptions into visual displays that inform the marketers and advertisers as to number of dimensions, nature and characteristics, location of the actual brands. Now, when I talk about the word perceptual mapping, that means to say that I'm translating certain things into visual display that will actually make the factor understand where are we unique, where is the product different from others. Why is that we need to concentrate on those products? How is that the difference is being created, that's been spoken so much? What are all the actual brand locations, where it needs to be looked into it, how the ideal brand situations can be created, all this part of the great advertising research altogether. Now, the segmentation. Segmentation is where you systematically group people on similar characteristics, like it might be psychographic based, it might be brand usage based, it might be Q methodology, so many other factors that can come into picture. Now, normally what we do in any advertisement is that we tend to go on a psychographic based, we go on a user based classification altogether, because that will actually help you to understand your demography, your geography for the patterns of advertisement. Why is this important? The type of users are not always the same, and the kind of products that you are going to advertise might differ from place to place. The segment of your users are from a particular category, are from a particular location, and they belong to a particular age. So when they look into your brand, when they look into your product, they have a certain amount of sentiments, understanding about that product. So they would like to go on that particular way and try to understand what is best for them. Similarly, whenever we talk about the factors called as the category-based behaviors, we also see that there are people who understand the segmentation in a very, very systematic manner. They try to know that every single product will have certain amount of attitude, certain amount of perceptions from the customer's side. So we have to understand it and then take it forward. Now, the concept and benefit testing. used to determine the potential of new products, new ideas, and to identify the product benefits or benefit. That should be the core of the advertising message. The potential of a new product idea and to identify product benefits. Now, this is very, very important here. Why? Because potential of a new product idea, let me first discuss on that. Now, let's say that tomorrow MRF is coming with a whole new range of tires, or Complan is coming with a whole new range of beverage, or Boost is coming up, or Pepsi is coming up with a new ideology of marketing their soft drinks. Now, the potential factor of reaching that particular brand or that product to n number of people is very, very important, because every new idea that is being populated from the country, from the company's side, will actually make a huge amount of revenue change to the company. So that's very, very important how we analyze the product, what are all going to be the benefits, everything needs to be looked into. Now, communication research, this is also known as pre-testing, copy development, diagnostic testing. I'm going to bring in different words all together to make you understand better. Now, conducted early in the creative process to evaluate multiple approaches for communicating the key idea. So it is very important that we first understand how the idea is being communicated, how it is being tested, and how are we taking it forward. Now, before the copy testing, it is focused on approach of communication rather than actual message. So first, let's try to communicate this idea to the people. Let's first try to see that this is reaching them or not. Once it reaches, then yes, it's going to make a huge amount of difference. Copy testing, used later in the creative process to evaluate the proposed ads based on their ability, and they achieve a lot of strategic communication objectives. Often, it includes messages such as attitude, purchase intention, and so on. So, whenever we are talking about this process altogether, whenever we are talking about this evaluation purpose altogether, it's based on the same strategic communication objectives. That's very, very important for all of us to understand here, because that is where you are going to understand, you're going to go through the entire factor. Now, whenever we are talking about this entire ideology, entire factors here, it becomes very important for all of us to understand the communication pattern. What is the objective on which we are doing it, why we are doing it, and what does it matter altogether. So, in this process, the copy testing, we are going to evaluate your proposed idea. We're going to see whether it's really going to work out, it's going to be of a great value or not. Then, the audience measurement, you know that. Now, for example, take that advertising and put it across to your audience and see that whether that message is going to be conveyed yes or no. Now, whenever you throw some message to the people and you say that this is what we are coming up as a team, then let us understand the audience may or may not accept. So you need to measure the feedback. You need to see how exactly it's working, how exactly it's going. So in a creative aspect, from a media aspect standpoint, is it actually working? Are the audience happy with what you're trying to do? Will matter a lot. Will actually go ahead and also see that where is the audience actually testing you. So this really matters in terms of your audience basis. With this, I come to the end of this particular presentation. I hope and believe that all these factors that have been spoken here will be of a great help to you, both in terms of practical as well as in the theoretical walk of life. In the coming sessions, we will be getting into a little bit on the ethics, the add value part of the advertisement, and also trying to see about how advertising and media can bring further changes to the various dimensions of the world. But until then, stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay enlightened. Thank you once again for joining me today on this wonderful session.